The harsh winters of the Second World War didn't just test soldiers on the battlefield, they tested every ounce of human ingenuity. Freezing nights, rationed fuel, and the constant threat of enemy patrols made warmth and fire a life-or-death necessity. And yet, while much of history focuses on foxholes, air raids, or ration lines, few stories capture the quiet ingenuity of survival under the most extreme conditions. Today, we're going to dive into one of those nearly forgotten secrets: the art of making smokeless fuel. This wasn't just a clever trick, it was a lifeline. The ability to cook a meal or boil water without sending a plume of smoke into the sky could mean the difference between safety and detection. Before we dive in, if you love uncovering the hidden strategies that kept people alive in history, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow enthusiasts, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Warfront Survival. This channel is dedicated to bringing you the untold, practical survival knowledge of the past, lessons too valuable to let fade away. Now, let's get into the science, method, and ongoing value of World War II's smokeless fuel. During the Second World War, maintaining warmth and cooking capability while avoiding detection was a constant struggle. Smoke from a fire wasn't just a minor inconvenience, it was a beacon. A single column of smoke could reveal a hidden partisan camp to aircraft, a sniper, or an enemy patrol. Factory-made solutions existed, like the German hexamine Esbit tablets or the Allied Tommy cookers, but these were limited in supply and sometimes unreliable. The true ingenuity came from soldiers, partisans, and civilians who had no choice but to improvise. They experimented with materials at hand: animal fats, charcoal dust, soap, even resin, to create small, dense fuel cakes that burned hot, long, and with almost no visible smoke. The chemistry behind these improvised fuels was deceptively simple. Smoke results from incomplete combustion when carbon-based material doesn't fully burn. By combining a carbon-rich component, like charcoal, with a vaporizing energy source such as animal fat or wax, the fuel burned more completely, producing heat without revealing its location. The binder, whether clay, soap or resin, held the mixture together, allowing it to be moulded into portable, durable cakes. This wasn't theoretical. It was practical, field-tested survival chemistry. Soldiers and civilians could make enough fuel in hours to last days, storing it in tins, cups, or even eggshells. Each cake produced a small, quiet, bluish flame, enough to heat rations, melt snow for water, or boil tea without betraying their position. A typical wartime recipe required 3 essential elements. First, a carbon source like finely ground charcoal or coal dust. Second, a high-energy binding material such as lard, animal fat, or candle wax. And third, a stabilizer to hold the mixture together and make it mouldable, soap flakes, clay, or resin. The process itself was straightforward. Melt the fat or wax until fully liquid, then gradually mix in the powdered charcoal until the combination thickened into a dense paste. Finally, knead in the stabilizer and shape the mixture into small moulds, tins, or whatever containers were available. Once cooled, the cakes hardened into durable, transportable fuel blocks. Some were wrapped in cloth or wax paper for waterproofing, others stored in caches for weeks. A single spark could ignite the cake, producing steady heat for hours with minimal smoke. The brilliance of this approach lay in its adaptability. The materials were often scavenged or naturally available. Charcoal could be ground from spent campfires, animal fat collected from rations or hunted game, and resin or soap improvised from household supplies. The fuel cakes could be scaled up or down depending on need, burned individually or in groups, and stored safely for extended periods. This same combination of creativity and chemistry turned limited resources into a powerful survival advantage, whether behind enemy lines, in a rural cabin, or a makeshift bunker. For modern enthusiasts of bushcraft, prepping, or off-grid living, this technique still holds tremendous value. Making your own smokeless fuel at home is, well, simple and safe. Activated charcoal works perfectly. Beeswax or candle wax can serve as the binding and energy source. By gently melting the wax and thoroughly mixing in the powdered charcoal until thick, you create a paste ready to be moulded. Once hardened, these cakes can be lit indoors or outdoors, providing clean, efficient heat without smoke. For anyone practicing stealth camping or dealing with limited resources, this method offers a historically proven advantage. Revisiting these wartime methods isn't just a nod to nostalgia. It's a reclaiming of practical, actionable knowledge that modern convenience has, obscured. These small, overlooked techniques demonstrate how people endured extreme conditions using creativity, observation, and a clear understanding of basic chemistry. Every cake, every careful adjustment of materials was an example of survival ingenuity at its purest. So, the next time you're studying history, camping off-grid, or thinking about survival in a resource-limited environment, remember the smokeless fuel of World War II. It's a quiet, powerful tool that made the impossible possible. It reminds us that survival isn't just about what you carry. It's about what you understand. If this deep dive into wartime ingenuity resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with fellow history enthusiasts. And subscribe to Warfront Survival. We're here to keep these forgotten survival skills alive and accessible, bringing practical lessons from the past straight to your hands. The world of historical survival is waiting, and these skills are just too valuable to forget.